What's up, everybody, and welcome back to A Beer a Day with TK. It is a frigid evening here in Findlay, Ohio. The Ginger Yeti and I are hanging out in the beer shed, trying to stay warm and checking out some new beers. Now, as we're going to do a WTF Wednesday review, I think I should explain it. WTF Wednesday is a one day a week we do beers we normally wouldn't on the channel. Sometimes that means we do stuff from the big boys, Bud Miller and Coors. Sometimes we do interesting offerings from microbreweries, and we've been trying to do some international beers recently. So this will kind of fall in the first category, I guess. It's not Bud Miller or Coors,
but it's
the Canadian equivalent.
Yeah, I mean, it's still up there with Bud Miller, Coors, and it's also international.
If I were to look at Canadian beers, I'd say like Molson and Labatt are the equivalent of Bud Miller if they're not in the same family. I don't know who owns them, but they may be.
I don't know who owns Labatt.
So this was Labatt Maximum Ice. I never seen this shit in America.
Neither have I.
But I think you picked it up in Canada.
I picked it up in Canada, and I don't quite remember where I picked it up at. I don't know if I just walked into a random store or if this is one of the beers I picked up at the LCBO in Toronto. Or either way, I saw this and went, absolutely, we have to have this.
WTF Wednesday official. Now, I will say this. When I looked on Untappd, my only friend that had this was my man Brew Watts from Beer for Breakfast, Facts for Snacks. So if you don't check out his channel, check it out. I'm going to put his logo up here somewhere. I'm pointing all over the place. Wherever I can fit it in on the video, I'll put his channel up there, and I'll throw a link down below.
He's also got a new channel that you also have to put up there.
You're right. What is it? It's a cooking one, right? What's it
called?
called?
Yeah, the cooking one. I don't remember because it's brand new.
I forget the name of it, but he has one. If you don't know Brew, he has 8,000 barbecue grills. And he's doing like some food stuff with him and his wife, which is pretty interesting. So I'll throw both of the links down below.
He's got one of them cool flat tops now, which
does.
I wish I would have one of those.
Don't say that. My wife tried to make me buy one. I didn't want it, and I bought the smoker instead. And she went a flat top. I said, for what? I can make cheesesteaks in the crib. I don't need this.
Anyways.
It will be nice for breakfast meats and things like that, but I kind of just...
You don't have your card up and ready to go for this beer.
Boy, I'll get it. Don't worry. We're a few videos in, but that's okay. This one was...
This is the Maximum Ice from
Great Odin's Raven.
Did you ever even make a card for it? Where are your notes? You don't have any notes for this.
Good Lord. I do. Well, it's probably not going to matter.
We need to know what... I know you made the notes for it because...
There we go. I got it. Labatt Brewing. Maximum Ice. Really, bro? There's nothing we could get from these cards that's not here.
You can give them the Untappd and the...
Fair enough. We'll do that. So this says 7.1% ABV. Ratings-wise, does not do good. It gets a 2.38 on Untappd, which is not good. Beer Advocate 2.51. That's a surprise. Because usually I think Beer Advocate's more discerning and more beer snobs. So for that kind of higher than...
That's interesting.
It is. On the can...
Maybe it's just getting some Canadian love.
It says contains barley, or in French apparently orgy. I think orgy sounds much better.
I thought it said ogre.
No, orgy or barley. Orgy sounds
Don't
better.
Drink and drive.
Yeah. So apparently there's just barley. There's nothing else in there ingredients-wise. Strong beer, Beer Forte. A 7.1. Like
you know, I'm surprised for something that's called ice that it's as that low of alcohol.
Yeah.
Because aren't usually ice beers a little higher?
I don't know.
I mean, I know it's higher than a normal beer to begin with, 7.1.
They're probably around there. I mean, to be fair, like, ice beers are like a relic of the 90s, honestly.
They are.
Right? I mean, I remember drinking Mickey's. Mickey's Ice was a...
We need to find a Mickey's Ice, again.
I don't think they make it anymore.
Somebody's got to have a Mickey's Ice out there.
Didn't you find one a few years ago?
Yeah, in Oregon.
I don't think they make it. I don't know. Maybe they do. Mickey's Ice, when I was in college, that was a night ender. You get a couple 40s out, it would be over.
A couple of 40s of most beers, it would be over.
So Mickey's Ice will do it, bro. Especially if you're like 19. Let's try this. I appreciate you bringing this back from Canada.
I'm surprised that everything that I bought in Canada made it back, because I did.
You said you mailed them back to us, all right?
I got back to Knoxville and mailed a lot of beers back to my house, and then still flew with a hell of a lot of beers in my bag. And everything made it, no problems, no busted beers. It was shocking.
But, you know, we talk about this. Like, we send a lot of beers to each other, maybe through USPS, maybe through FedEx, maybe through anywhere else. We won't confirm where we do it because, you know.
Maybe through the airlines.
Could be. Well, I mean, you're allowed to bring beers on a plane.
You know, when I flew back from Europe, I was going through customs. You guys asked me if I had anything to claim. I'm like, yeah, I got a bunch of beers. He's like, you have less than 12, right? I'm like, yeah, sure. He's like, all right, you're good to go.
I will say this. The last couple times I've been through customs, I don't think I ran into an agent. It was just like, you can go to nothing to declare lane, you just walk out and nobody gave a shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
I like that. Now,
I do too.
I will say this. As we're talking about the mailing of beers, this one is always my magic one. So I don't like Budweiser, but Budweiser did this notorious big can, but you can only get it in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn's finest.
Yeah. Now, as I don't live in Brooklyn, I obviously can't get it. It says King of New York on this. So I talked to my buddy Such, who I went to law school with, and said, he lives in Brooklyn. And I said, Such, can you hook me up, man? I hate Bud, but I got to get this biggie can. I'm a kid in the 80s, went to college in the 90s. My freshman year, Ready to Die came out. I wanted this can big time. And he mailed this to me. And you know how he sent it to me? A FedEx flat rate envelope. For real. I said, Such, if you send me this, I'll pay for it, whatever. And he said, I got you, bro. I said, all right, cool. And he sent it to me in a flat rate envelope. You know, like you get like a document in from FedEx like this? This was in there. And that's why it looks like it got beaten with a sack of pool balls. But
that's kind of fitting for what the beer is.
You know what the sad thing is? People are selling these for money because of the can. Oh, yeah. These were going for some decent money on eBay and places. I would have never sold it because I just wanted it for myself.
You bottom opened that, didn't you?
Huh?
You bottom opened that, didn't you?
Yeah. So I wouldn't destroy the top. Yeah. Well, when it came in, the bottom was bubbled out, you know what I mean, because of the mailing thing. But listen, I appreciate getting it because it's a cool-ass can that you can't find. Just wish it was in a little better shape. But hey, it is what it is, man. So, enough talking about this nonsense. Let's get into this. Color.
That looks like...
This looks like urine.
Yeah.
It's a 2. It's a 2 or 3. I mean,
you can see right through that.
Very pale straw, yellow, very light. I mean, you know.
That was a urine sample.
No, I would say my urine's probably darker. Because I drink.
Not right now.
Because I drink, after them Imperial IPAs, Imperial Stouts,
quite possibly.
Head, it's got a decent head on it, to be fair. I mean, this is a nice, rocky, claggy, whatever you want to call it, big, pillowy, cloudy, white head. I mean, there's a thumb's worth here, and I've been yapping for a bit, and you can see
it's got some nice lacing again.
You can see the lacing up here. So, you know, I mean, for a pretty crappy beer, you know, I mean, nobody expects this to be great. Yeah, it's okay. Smell?
I just did something new.
Did you breathe it in again?
No.
What?
I just got it all in my mustache and dripped it all out of the glass.
I will say this.
It's very adjuncty.
Yeah. It's adjuncty because it's what it is. It's sweet.
I've never stuck my mustache in a beer before.
You know what's funny? I actually, I go to the barber pretty rarely. I have to trim all this back. And when I don't, I noticed the other day I did a video and it was like all like, you could see it all up on my mustache. I didn't know it until I edited it because you don't really realize it's there. And I was just like, oh, shit, I got my beard cut. The smell, it's sweet and adjuncty. And that's kind of, I mean, again, it's what you'd expect.
I mean, that's just, straight up adjunct, macro adjunct. Cheers.
My Canadian brothers and sisters, cheers. I see my man Brew likes this. I think he gave it like a 3.5 or something.
I hope this is as good as you say it is, Brew.
Yeah, brother.
You know, first of all, I don't think it deserves the ratings it gets.
No, I agree. I don't think it's that bad. Body is medium. Is a tiny bit syrupy. It's a bit viscous.
Slightly.
It's a bit viscous, a bit syrupy.
And it does have a slight adjunct taste to it.
It's not offensive.
But it's not offensive.
Not at all.
This is actually, I mean, beer for breakfast, fast for snacks. Maybe onto something with his ratings there.
Where'd you get this at? You got this in Canada. You don't really get paid for it, obviously, right?
No.
It's got to be pretty cheap, I'd imagine.
You do have a little bit of a alcohol vapor kind of after thing. Like, you know, this isn't just a 4.25% beer.
These are 7.1 ice beer. You kind of get it.
The ratings are not.
No, I think they're off.
They're way off.
This is what it says it is.
Yes.
And I will say this, for a 7.1% beer, it's nowhere near as sweet or gross as I expected.
No, not at all. Not at all.
He bought this for a WTF Wednesday. And usually when we get the WTF Wednesday beers, we kind of expect they're not going to be great. So your bar is here. You know what I mean? And it's like, if they exceed that, it's a positive. And if they don't, Christ, that's, you know, if you exceed what was already the bar here, you should not be a beer. I don't think this is that bad.
And you know what? I'm going to say, this is not something I would drink all the time now. I think this is something I would really enjoy when I was in college.
Yeah, 100%. It's slightly sweet, but not too sweet. It's a little bit malty. And that's it. I mean, there's no real hops in this, I don't think.
This is surprisingly a solid beer. I would not be mad if somebody handed this to me.
No. As compared to other ice beers?
As compared to other macros, I would not be.
Mickey's Ice is still the king.
Well, that's a different story. We need to do a review on that one day.
I don't think they make it anymore.
We just saw it in the damn... Oh, not Mickey's Ice. I'm thinking of Mickey's.
Yeah, Mickey's.
We need to do a review of Mickey's.
I did a Mickey's review.
Did you?
Yeah, I love Mickey's. Mickey's is my favorite cheap beer, honestly.
But this... I would not be mad if somebody handed this to me at a party.
Nor would I. I think, Brew, you hit this, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know if I think it's a 3.5. But I think, like...
It's a solid beer.
For what it is, it's a 3. Like, if you're on a 1 to 5 scale, it's middle of the road. To me, a 3's a solid beer.
Yeah.
If you're better, you know, it sways, but it's okay. Now, again, if you're a beer connoisseur, it's not a hell of a lot going on. You're not picking up hops and different things and that. I mean, it is what it is. It's kind of sweet, a wee bit adjuncty, but not too much, because I don't really like the adjunct beers, because they tend to be cloyingly sweet. I don't think this is. For me, I'm shocked, but I would say Labatt Brewing Maximum Ice. Thumbs up.
Yeah, you know, I expect this to be garbage. I thought this was going to be on the level of that Bud Select 55. I thought it was going to be garbage, and I'm pleasantly surprised. I'd absolutely give this a thumbs up as well. I mean, this is actually a solid beer. It's a nice beer. I would drink
this again if I was at a college party raging and shit.
Yeah.
When they come in and they'd be like, who let that narc in here? He's coming here to lock us all up. I would do that.
When the Boots with the Fur song comes on, you would drink this beer?
And I come in like this. I come in like it's like Boots with the Fur.
While you're wearing your apple bottom jeans?
And I do this. And they'd be like, that's a cop. Don't talk to that guy. That's probably what happened.
God, let's end this.
All right. Listen, 2 thumbs up, shockingly, for Labatt Maximum Ice.
Yeah, surprisingly.
It ain't that bad, man. Sometimes that's a win.
It's definitely a win.
This couldn't have been expensive.
I wish I remember what I paid for this.
It could $2.
It was Canadian, so it was free.
Oh, well, Canadian tax was probably like $38. So Trudeau.
Which is still like $1 American.
It ain't bad. So shockingly, thumbs up. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit subscribe. And also check out down below in my description, I got the Ginger Yeti's channel. He just started out not that long ago. He's trying to get them subs up. So go give him a like, go give him a sub. Check out his channel. He does some really cool shit, man. He travels around the country and internationally with heavy metal bands. Tries beers all over the world and goes to venues that aren't in Findlay, Ohio. So that's pretty interesting.
But this is my favorite venue.
So check him out, man. And again, if you've had this Labatt Maximum Ice on Untappd, I've had one friend that had this. This is Brew. And he liked it. And I'll say it's Brew. You weren't wrong, dog. It's not the greatest beer in the world, but for probably $2,
it's got to be something cheap like that.
You could do worse than this, man. And if you don't get that apple burn, it's all right. Hey, till next time.
So how do you say cheers in Canadian?
You just say cheers, but say like, hey, you know, Wayne Gretzky, cheers.
Cheers.